can learn everything else. They don't need to, go to college to do this. However, I think what's different is a huge emphasis on critical thinking, understanding at the highest level of what works, what doesn't, in the actual application phase, understanding the ethics, and how do you drive human-centric solutions rather than purely, a transactional, economic, or any other reason for why you are going to have certain outcomes. It has to be human-centric, and it's a human effort. So the human is still in the loop, and we need to be able to operate at that level. Let me just give you an analogy and a metaphor. If we take the pre-calculator times when, we kind of had to memorize, and you probably don't remember it, but I do. Same thing happened, no way even close to AI, but similar analogy when we were debating whether calculators should be allowed in schools and in universities, because the humans were going to just lose any ability to add and subtract in their heads. Guess what? That's already, the train left the station. It's no longer a discussion. We can't imagine any course without, people being able to use a calculator. So I think we're going to see the same. And what I'm really fascinated about and intrigued about is how humans are going to adapt and really raise the bar for all the humans in the profession to operate at that level. If you remember, we always lamented the fact that HR was so transactionally bound, anchored to the desk to figure out the next report, et cetera, et cetera. Imagine that that's being taken care of appropriately, and HR can now pick up that report and go and have a intelligent conversation with business leaders about what needs to be done and the impact, and playing scenarios and all of those complex issues that need to be solved. So we need to train our HR professionals to be able to do that and have also interpersonal confidence, executive presence, to be able to operate at that level.
So, of course, with you kind of teaching the future and being in the academic side of things, you're probably changing your curriculum and how you're teaching the next generation. But I guess let's broaden it up to the people who are already working in HR, already working for these companies. How do they get trained to learn the intersection of both? Do the companies themselves need to do that? Do the HR professionals need to do it on their own? What do you think kind of the solution is for the people already doing it?
I think it's all of the above, Jada. We have so many resources available to the practitioners out there who are in the field. I do a lot of conferences and, webinars and, your show and any other. There's just so many. We really have the democratization of knowledge in general. So, however, I don't want to take the responsibility away from the companies that are employing these people. We need to provide resources, guidance. We need to provide tools, as well as encourage and create incentives. I think the most important thing is even not so much let's send everyone to a training class, but more let's create incentives and reward systems for people to actually drive that learning themselves, as well as offer people resources. Because it's one thing to say, go and learn, because otherwise you're going to lose your job.